Bene, buongiorno, puntualissime alle 10. Allora, questo è il cartello che ci dice che possiamo poi avere la traduzione del panel, che sarà un panel in inglese e un panel molto bello, molto importante. So, welcome to everybody. Buongiorno, buenos dias. Siamo con i nostri amici spagnoli, che sono anche i main partner di BTO quest'anno. Abbiamo un panel davvero bello, davvero interessante, che mette in relazione la tecnologia con lo sviluppo delle destinazioni. So I ask my colleagues to have 10 minutes more or less after the introduction by Gonzalo, and then we will have some minutes for questions each by one. So, thanks again, and Gonzalo, the mic is yours.
Grazie Paolo, buongiorno a tutti. Questo sarà lo unico che parlerò in italiano. Da qui in avanti sarà in spagnolo, in inglese. Thank you very much, first of all, to Paolo for the introduction and the moderation of this panel. I want to also thank the organization of BTO, the scientific committee that has allowed us to present this Spanish experience. Also Fondazione Toscana Promozione Toscana, anche la Camera di Commercio di Firenze. I am the responsible of promoting Spain, but I am also representing the Ministry of Industry and Tourism in Spain that has just delivered its strategic vision for 2030. And my role here is to sort of cover up why we are doing this. Why is Spain presenting this experience, which isn't the best, it isn't possibly the first, and it has lots of mistakes, but it is an honest recount of what we are doing and why we are doing it. So in 2015-16, we started working on data in destinations. Many stakeholders work in this project. It is a top-bottom project. This means that it was the Ministry of Industry and Tourism at the time, also Commerce, the responsible for trying to start a system where all the stakeholders would receive through data information that allowed them to take decisions, allowed them to target their promotion, segment the tourists before they arrived at the destination, managed the destinations, allowed a better efficiency in resources usage, also guaranteeing a respect between tourists and residents in a destination. All of these things were put together, and the smart destinations or tourist smart destinations evolved. There was la Destinazione Turistiche Intelligenti, which will be explained later on by Jose, works as a nodal in a network where the information is provided into the system. Each of the different nodals that represent a council or a destination can receive not only information of what happens in their area, but also learn from the experiences of other destinations and councils. So there's a strategic idea that comes out from the ministry. We need data, we need knowledge. Data can be recollected, not easily, and it isn't always interchangeable or interoperable, but it can be converted into knowledge, and knowledge can allow us to take decisions. So at the start, this is what the ministry has a vision, and it requests Segitur, which is a state-owned run company, Jose will mention it afterwards, to establish how to work this out on paper. You have an idea, but you have to, in public administration, you have to set it black on white and have an accountability of what is going to be requested and how it's going to be delivered. And Segitur doesn't have the means to provide for the technical needs of this this program, project idea, so it relies on a public, you would say in Italian, bando, that is a public purchase, and Mablian comes into place as one of the providers of the technological needs for this idea. And at the same time, and this is why it's an overall vision, as Paolo said, it is a funnel vision, the destinations, and Benidorm was the first destination in 2018 to receive a certification of what we considered at the time a smart destination tourist-wise. This is what the data, how the data is collected, what type of data is collected, how you construct knowledge from this data, and how you use it later on. I hope he will explain some experiences that we had, for example, during COVID, where there was a management of the playas, of the beaches, with numbers, and they now have over 1,000, in winter they have over 1,000 activities, free activities done on the beaches for tourists visiting Benidorm, and that is all managed through this system of not IA, it's not IA yet, but it is a system of data collection and knowledge provide. I don't know, this is an overall vision that can allow us to understand why we are so eager to explain our experience and also admit our mistakes. Sometimes that we've advanced a bit too much in some areas and we have to back up because it's not needed, it's not necessary. Technology has advanced and has provided different means to collect that data in a more efficient and affordable way. So that would be our initial statement.
Yeah, thank you, Gonzalo, for giving us the vision, the framework of the project. So we are more and more curious now to get into the platform. So Jose, give us the idea of what you developed.
Okay.
Thank you.
Hello. Yes, I will start thanking also the organizers and also to Spain for inviting Segitur to this event. And I'm honored to be in this panel with so distinguished companions. So I will go. I have a little time, so I have to go deep into the presentation. I'm going to talk about driving innovation in tourism, about the Smart Destinations platform. And first of all, I would like to introduce who we are, Segitur. As Gonzalo has explained, we are a state-owned company. We depend from the Ministry of Industry and Tourism, and we are attached to the State Secretariat of Tourism. And our goals are to foster digital transformation in tourism, to promote sustainable tourism development, and also to support entrepreneurs and innovative medium and small and medium enterprises. We both combine methodology and technology. We have developed the Smart Tourist Destination Program, which is a management model based in 5 pillars, which are governance, innovation, technology, accessibility, and sustainability. And we have a lot of indicators and a lot of requirements for the destination to fulfill. And we give them some assessment in order to complete their, to improve their management method. As a result, we have created also the DTI network, like innovative experience to share best practices between the destinations. We have, till now, we have 691 members. Most of them are destinations, but we have also companies, institutions, and international observers. Now I'm going deep to the fundamentals of this project, this ambitious project, the Smart Destinations platform. We have been in a maturity path. At the beginning, there were only a few destinations that work by themselves independently, and they have a few technology or nothing tourism technology applied. Then will come big cities, big destinations like Benidorm, for example, who deployed his technology to boost tourism and management. And right now, with the development of the Smart Destination platform, we want to connect this platform, this system for the destination, the big destinations, and for sharing data and for exchange information. And we can provide also this platform as a service, so the small destination are able to become a node of this network, and we will have the whole picture of the destination, the whole picture of the data, the tourism data. As we know, the tourism is about people, and we want to benefit people in all kind of ways. For example, people who manage destination managers, they get data-driven management and anticipation of the challenges. The people who run businesses into the destinations, who made activities for the tourism, they get democratized access to data and also marketing intelligence. The people who live in the destination, this is very important because the residents are a part of the tourism, the local people, and they get better services and they get a reduction of negative impact from tourism. And of course, the people who travel, the tourists, and they get personalized experience, more personalized experience. The Smart Destination platform also plays an important role in tourism sustainability in line with Spanish strategy 2030. We think that tourism sustainability is a combination chain of 3 dimensions that we can see like a Maslow pyramid. You can get the economic sustainability, and then you can pursue the social sustainability, and at the end you will manage to get the environmental sustainability. Sorry for the M, I think there is an N missing in environmental. So, however, you cannot get environmental with sustainability without getting the social or the economical sustainability. Well, this is a whole picture, a holistic picture of the Smart Destination platform. You can see on the left side the digital solution that we provide to the destination. In the middle of the image, you can see all the agents that take part in the ecosystem, and on the right side, you can see the technological core with all the capabilities, all the platforms, and all the technology that we are providing. Another important aspect of the Smart Destination platform is the ontology model. An ontology is a conceptual model that tries to define all the concepts and all the entities into a specific domain, in this case, tourism. What we want is that different systems can talk to each other and can send information to the Smart Destination platform in the same language. So, as we can see in the graphic, we have 4 destinations with different systems, with different technology, and we want them to communicate with the Smart Destination platform. So we get the tourism ontology as a unique language, as a unique form to understand between machines. This is a holistic view of the ontology. I would like to say that the ontology has to grow up in the future, because there are a lot of extensions. You know, tourism, it has a lot of different aspects, and it will have to grow up in the future with a lot of more concepts and entities. Well, right now I'm going to go deep into the ecosystem. We have 2 projects, 2 very important projects. The central node of the Smart Destination platform, which is focused on the destinations and the companies and the information and the tourists, and the Open Innovation Platform, which is focused in data exchanging, data sharing, and also in the innovation aspect of the companies. Let's start with the Smart Destination platform. We have 6 components. The first one is a smart service platform. You can think this component as a smart city platform, but focused in tourism and with a multi-entity capability. We have to collect data from a lot of destinations. And the second component is shared digital services that we provide the destination to improve their digital maturity. I'm going to talk in the next slide of this component. The third is a tourism intelligence system. That's a set of dashboards that we provide to the destination with very important data from external sources, like, for example, Mabrian. Mabrian is participating in this component. The fourth is the centralized technological platform. This is the core. This is the technological core where all the data lake is hosted and where we get all the analysis and the analysis capabilities of the platform. And then 5 and 6 components, they are the necessary infrastructure and the security system and the user attendance. Let's talk about the shared digital services. This is a very important piece because technological piece we provide to the destination. We are dividing them in 4 blocks: communication services, such as the white label, DTI web portal, a white label landing page, the smart travel advisor, and also the national tourism mobile application. They are new channels for communication, communicate the tourist information to the tourists. Then we have core services, for example, the semantic MES, who runs the ontology. We have also a loyalty service, the DTI control panel, and also location intelligence, very important, the geolocalization. Then we have business services for the companies, but through the destinations. And in this case, we have a professional portal, a professional mobile application. We have a digital maturity index for a small and medium enterprise. And we have also a dashboard, data dashboard for a business run from the destinations. And then we have intelligence service that provide a lot of inputs to the destination and get how to know better the tourists and how to make better decisions with data insights. It's quite important for us, this aspect of data activation, and we see it like a cycle. You will see at the right side a pyramid, but we see it like a cycle. In the first stage, we have data sources. We get data acquisition for data sources, like central core of the Smart Destination Platform, and the Open Innovation Platform. You see PID and PIA. These data sources, in the second phase, we are going to process them with the knowledge platform, with all the capabilities of the knowledge platform. For example, data processing, data storage, artificial intelligence, machine learning, BI, etc. And then we get the result in the third phase. And these results are knowledge obtained with this analysis, and we want these results to make them available again to the destination. So it is like a cycle. You can feed again the PID and the PIA, for example, to better know the tourism, the profiling of the tourists, and also to make better recommendation to a personalization of the experience. The other big project that we are running is the Open Innovation Platform. Yes, it's centered in foster collaboration about destination, companies, universities, and other entrepreneurs. And it has three main components: the data space, the sandboxes, and the marketplace. The data space is a safe environment, a trust environment created for sharing data one-to-one from the providers to the consumers in a trust environment. As you can see in the image, you will see here that we have on the left the data provider, and in the right we have the data consumer, and they are both using the same technological component, which is the connector. This connector is making possible the five words that I write on the left. The interoperability, you are able to add value to your data by sharing them, and you can also consume data that is valuable to you. The sovereignty, you keep control on your data. Your data never abandons your host. The data is never in the data space. It's one-to-one connection. The governance, you decide who you negotiate with and in which terms. The trustworthiness, because the component, the IDS connector, ensures with the identity provider the trust identity of the consumer and the provider, and also the quality of the data. And then there is another word that is federation. The data space have to talk with other data spaces. That's kind of utopia right now, because there are only a few data spaces working in the world, I would say. We have, for example, Catena X, that is from automobile data space in Germany, and there's Eona X, for example, that is tourism data space in France, and in the future there will be the European tourist data space also, so we'll have to talk with them. We have to federate with it. The second component of this platform, the Open Innovation Platform, are the sandboxes. This is environment, prepared environment, closed environment, prepared to experiment, to test, and to develop solutions, technological solutions applied in tourism. I think the main aspect of this event, these sandboxes, are the capability of testing the technical feasibility and also the economic feasibility of the solutions. So the companies will have a free cost environment to try them and to experiment with real data and real tools. You can see all the tools that we provide: AI, machine learning, processing application, integration and communication, and it's like an on-demand laboratory, free of cost. It's for companies, it's for universities, or for other entities that can develop tourism solutions. And then the third component is the marketplace. That's an open store that promotes the dissemination and adoption of technology. And I think it's great because it apports visibility, flexibility, efficiency, and collaboration into the companies. We can provide market solution, we can provide source code and algorithms, and we have integration with application store like iTunes and Google Play. It's a digital showcase, so I think it's great. And that's my presentation. I would like to say that, as you may seen, I think the road ahead is challenging, but I think the whole picture, the whole process, and also the collaboration between companies and destination, it's totally worth it. Thank you.
I think that I think all the audience is so impressed by such a huge project and kind of big brother of tourism. So Jose, how many years? How much do you invest? How many people are working on that?
It's difficult to say. The conception of the project, maybe 5 years ago, it's been huge. Right now we are working in this project for 2 years, and it's finished. And now we are in the onboarding of destination, also enterprise, so also businesses, companies. So yeah, I think 5 years. And how many people are working in this project? It's uncountable. We have a lot of people from destinations, a lot of people from companies. We are working in a combination of two big companies that they are Minsait and Telefónica in Spain. So there are a lot of people. So I would say 200.
It's really a revolution.
Yeah,
it's definitely. Thank you so much, Jose.
You're welcome.
And now speaking with Alexandre, how did you put in practice the vision, then the method and the process that you that Jose expressed? So, under the point of view of technology, and how did you put into reality?
Well, first of all, thank you very much to BTO and to Spagna for setting this up and for the invitation. It's quite. It's quite a similar path that we were born more than 10 years ago. I'll give you a glimpse of who we are, what we do, and how this makes sense to destinations and also to public administration in terms of our I would say joint and shared challenges and approaches. Just to start and just to give you a glimpse, Mabrian, now, together with that appeal, we're part of the Alma Viva group, so an Italian company, an Italian soul company. Apologize for doing this in English and not in Italian. All mio professori di italiano in sala qui, Mario, ciao. L'anno prossimo l'ho fatto tutto in italiano. So basically who we are, we started as a tech guys who did not know about tourism, but for those kind of coincidences we were in quite a touristic area. We were born in Minorca in the Mediterranean, but we were tech guys, and I remember for our initial 2-3 years going to clients. One of them was Benidorm, probably one of our first paying customers. So I have also to acknowledge their vision and their bet on us. And our speech was, we don't know about tourism, we know about technology, right? So that was our approach. So let us take care of technology, and you as a destination, as a DMO, are the one that have the knowledge, and you take care of all the tourism component. This has somehow evolved a little bit because we also learned during the process that knowing only about technology was not enough. In some cases, we needed to have this knowledge of tourism to understand the dynamics, the needs of our clients, also different maturity level of our clients, of the DMOs. We had DMOs such as Benidorm, which were way behind in terms of what they want, how they do it, how efficiently they do it. I mean, when we met, you were 4.5 or 5 people on the team, and they do amazing things. They still do now. They have grown, thankfully, a little bit, the team, but they still do amazing things with a small team. But we, in the crossroad, or in the combination of technology and tourism and people, this is where we built our solution, right? And our solution in terms of what we aggregate, we work with more than 130 different data sources. So we are in the business of collecting this data, making it available with all the features that Jose was mentioning in terms of confidentiality, compliance with regulations, how that information can be shared. I could spend probably hours and hours speaking about different data providers that we have had to convince them to allow us or to sell us their data. And we've done basically because we convinced them that the use case that we had nothing to do with what the usual business, because otherwise there's no way that they will give you access to their data, because it's part of their core business, right? So this is us. I mean, together with AlmaWave, we are now operating in more than 50 countries. Let me also acknowledge Gonzalo, the Tour España team, the Segitur team. For us, it's been quite easy, and quote unquote on this easiness, but to go to places like Latin America, for instance, and just explaining we're part of the Red DTI, that is really a gate opener for us, right? So we are trusted by being part of something bigger, something that has a recognition not only at the national level but also at an international level. To our vision, how do we see the management for DMOs? We have developed these 5 pillars which are connected to the different data solutions that we provide. In some cases, to some clients, we're just a data provider, like some of the components that we provide for the PID in Spain. In other places, we're virtually the DMO operating arm of the destination because they don't have the resources, the skills, or the capabilities to do so, right? We have tailored our solutions around these 3 pillars, which are access and connectivity to destination, and this speaks to the different components of data that we are able to provide. First pillar is how easy it is to access to your destination. A destination without connectivity is not a destination. You need not only to attract your visitors, but when you inspire and you attract your visitors, you must ensure that they are able to arrive to your destination. Otherwise, you are spending your money with no return on investment, right? So that's it might seem maybe a silly statement, but it's the reality, right? So if Ryanair or EasyJet is not putting the flights to your destination, you can have an amazing destination, but the people, when they're trying to come to your destination, have to pay 500 euros for the ticket, and then they have to drive 3 hours to reach there. It might not work in some cases, right? So access and connectivity to destination is one of the main pillars. Then tracking how the demand and the markets are evolving, the different trends in the different origin markets. That's a step forward on what typically institutions such as Tour España have been doing in the sense, I mean, Tour España has an amazing network of tourism offices within the embassies, and they do an amazing job in terms of identifying trends of Italian visitors or Japanese visitors. So they have really the grip of what that market it's on. The next component is the experience of travelers on destination. This is more linked to social media. If you remember, like 10 years ago, when we had the boom of social media, everyone expected or projected that social media would be the only thing to account for. It has some components of truth, and then the reality is that it's not so easy. Probably the same way that artificial intelligence, if we get together here 5 years from now, probably we would also say, you remember that artificial intelligence back in 2025 was the thing? Well, that was the same with social media, which still is quite relevant, and we'll see probably in the case of Benidorm later how relevant and how powerful this can be. And then the two final pillars are supply and competitiveness in terms of pricing. How competitive is my destination compared to my competitors? Who my competitors are, which is something that it's not always, when we start speaking to a destination, it's not always so obvious who are my competitors. And finally, and last but not least, because this is quite relevant as well, the impact on the destination. The social impact, the economic impact, the return of investment, but also the environmental and social sustainability of the destination. Resources consumed on the destination, the perception of visitors, the negative externalities that tourism may have if not well managed into the destination. We also provide platforms to track on this. In a nutshell, what's the process of a destination to become truly Destino Turistico Intelligente, a data-driven management destination? Well, first of all, you have to start by defining what your objectives are, then identify what are your needs. We've seen the catalog of Segitur, of the PIT. You've seen a glimpse of our catalog as well. Not everyone at the same moment has the same needs and the capabilities to manage everything. So it's important to identify what are your needs and what are your capabilities to manage on this. Then, based on that, you create your insights and your reports. You incorporate these reports into your decision-making process. You share all this information, and sharing is also quite important. And here we're talking about public and private administration collaboration. And this is a loop or a feedback loop that generates this flow to continue working. And let me just finalize in terms of where we are, what's the result of this path. We started by customized analysis, by big data analysis of different components. Then we jumped into the multi-level analysis, and also Jose has given some good examples of this. As of today, what we see is the DMOs are the main agents of travel intelligence, and they are the ones that deliver what is needed to the different stakeholders. The next step, obviously, because we still have not talked about it, is artificial intelligence. I mean, someone had to speak about that. What we see in the future, we see the role of agentic AI helping to deliver this kind of needs to the DMOs. And I will not extend more on this. We can have time also for speaking after that. But that's my overview. So thank you so much.
Thank you really, because you give us a practical idea of everything is going on, and now we are more than curious to understand how all these huge projects go into the decision of a destination. So the mic is yours.
Yeah, so thank you very much. It's an honor for us to be here in Florence and sharing this panel. We are very proud, we can say. Benidorm is right now where we are thanks to the collaboration with these people, with this company from here. a national strategy followed by Tour España that helps us with the national promotion, international promotion, Segitur that gives us a methodology to improve, and also suppliers as Maurian that give us the data in order to improve. And that's why I'm going to show you our path as a destination since the past, because it's important to understand where we are coming from, because Benidorm is not something improvised, it's coming from the past. As you can see how different it is from the 50s to nowadays. This is a small fishing village of less than 4,000 inhabitants. But it's important to understand that on that time they start to thinking about what they want to be. Of course, nowadays Benidorm known as these skyscraper cities, as this compact city vertical model, and that's what they were planning about on that time. One of the first cities in develop a urban planning, not a normal urban planning, a vertical urban plan. They start to think how Benidorm will be in the future, and that's how that plan was called. How will be Benidorm in the future? Thanks to this plan, Benidorm nowadays is a compact city. We are a very small municipality, only 38 square kilometers of municipality area. But this is very important, 61% of this area is protected. So we are small, but we protect most of the part of our territory, so you can imagine how hard is this to maintain. And thanks to this compact model, 70% of mobility can be done by foot. You can go everywhere walking in Benidorm, and also thanks to our 134 kilometers of bicycle paths, you can move everywhere with bicycle. So we try to conserve our territory since the past and also nowadays. And let's show you some numbers, some figures. Right now, Benidorm has become the third Spanish destination in the Iberian Peninsula, only behind Madrid and Barcelona, our main markets. You can see United Kingdom, Spain, and Portugal. And thanks to the tourist industry, our main industry, Benidorm became the municipality with the lowest unemployment rate in the Valencia region. So you can imagine how important is the tourism for us. And thanks to our monitoring, how is the satisfaction of our visitors and to tools like Maurian, we can say our clients, our tourists are quite happy with an overall satisfaction on 65%. More numbers about visitors. Last year we finished 2024 with almost 5,000.8 overnight stays, also 2.8 million visitors. These are really huge numbers, but it's not only important that huge volume, it's also important the quality. As you can see, we've been increasing the numbers since the previous year, but also increasing in the average of spending of our visitors in accommodation in any case. You can see an average of 180 euros, and we are trying also to improve in this kind of matters. We are really, you can see we have big numbers in visitors in overnight, but we are really a small village. We are really small municipality, only 75,000 inhabitants. But during the season, we have an average of floating population around 150 to 250,000 people at the same time. Also reaching on high season peaks of 400,000 people at the same time. So you can imagine 5 times visitors of compared to the population of Benidorm. So you can imagine how hard it is to manage all of these numbers. And for that, we need a big infrastructure, accommodation infrastructure, more than 8,000 accommodation places between beds, camping sites, camping plots, apartments. And we've been talking about sustainability. Of course, green sustainability is very important, but social and economic is very important. So only Benidorm has give to the Valencia region 1.1 of the GDP, only in the tourism industry of Benidorm. So you can also see how important is the industry for us. And how everything is started, this data-driven management and how we did it. Thanks to our colleagues from Segitur in 2018, where we're certified as the first smart destination in Spain and in the world. I think Gonzalo, I don't know if you are in the picture. Yeah. So Gonzalo gave us the certification. So after that time, we start to work in this methodology. Jose already showed to you different axes, different pillars. I'm going to talk a lot because Jose already told to you, but we need to work in performance, in actions, in all these pillars in order to get on 2018 the certification, but nowadays still improving and still working to improve and get a better destination. And that's how we are right now. As you can see, an average of more than 80% between all these pillars, all these axes. One, for example, technology is down. That means we need to still working to improve and work on all of them, but especially right now on technology and continuously improving. And how has been this path after that, after this certification? 2018, we became first smart destination in Spain, in the world. And after that, thanks to work in this methodology, thanks to work in action, thanks to improve our city, we became the most inclusive destination in Spain in 2024. We want that everybody that comes to Benidorm can do it in a good way. Doesn't matter if you are disabled, you are blind. We are really proud of this. And also about our citizens, our senior citizens and visitors. We are also take care of them. We want that when they spend their holidays, when they visit Benidorm, they do it happily and in a good way. So we were certified as for our dedication to the senior citizens and visitors. And our real change, we always talk about this when normally Benidorm in the past was a little bit misunderstood. When you see these big buildings, big skyline, a mass tourist destination, high density destination, you don't think a destination can be sustainable. But this year, we were recognized by the European Commission as European Green Pioneer Destination of a Smart Destination. So that means also the European Commission recognizes us as sustainable destination thanks to our work. And why not? Why not a high density destination and a tourist destination can be sustainable if you do it in a good way? And what we did with all this information, with all the data that we collect from our citizens, from our visitors, data from the city, we create this smart office, for us known as the brain of Benidorm, where all the information comes here, that helps us to apply what we call tourist intelligence. What this means? We have a huge amount of data, a big amount of big data, so we need to transform the data into knowledge and also to help us to take decisions, to take strategical decisions, and this is what we do. This smart office, we analyze the data, of course, but we also try new pilot projects, we try new tools, we try everything that we think is useful for us. We also check for fundraising help from Europe, from national help. So all the data that we collect here is really important for us, and we try to also to share with the rest of the stakeholders. It's important that they have the information, but it's also important to share with the municipality, with the hoteliers, with the restaurants, so they can also have access to all this information and also help us to take strategical decisions. So just as conclusion, as I told you, thanks to this recognition as a smart, the European Green Pioneer, it's very important for us to show that a tourist destination can also be sustainable if you do it in a good way and if you manage all the information from your visitors, from your people, from your locals, because it's also important to take care of them. And just to finish, this is very important, will we only be the best destination to visit if we are the best city for living, and that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Antonio. It's really impressive. And can you give us an idea, an example, a concrete case about the transformation of information and the data into political decision? Some specific case.
Well, you see some axes, some pillars that we follow with the CEGITUR methodology. For us, sustainability, accessibility are really important technology, but the main one for us is governance. As I told you, if you don't share, if you don't collaborate with the other stakeholders, the municipality, private sector, if you don't collaborate with them, this is for nothing. I can have the best data, but if I don't share it, it's for nothing. And for example, we collaborate also with the water lab in Benidorm. It's called INAPSIS, so we also get information about the water consumption. Since the last years, Benidorm has get an efficiency, a water efficiency of 96%. So that means, just you to understand, for 100 drops of water, we only miss 4 drops. So that's really important for us because we are a very dry area. The water is very important for us. In the past, Benidorm has a lot of problems with the water, so we can also learn with this from the mistakes. So we try to also work in this water management, and it's really important to get improved and maintain our resources. And yeah, I think water is really important.
Yeah. So 30 seconds each. The main challenge from now on.
Paolo, may I, before the 30 seconds, I see the 3 minutes. No, just to mention things that are floating in the conversation. Paolo just asked me, how is Spagna, that's Tourist Spain, is our Ministry of Tourism with its offices in the foreign countries. Does it have any market intelligence? Yes. We have 33 offices, 30 of them have market intelligence. We supply information to all this system. Another thing, I don't know if you've noticed, I made a very short presentation and then it became very, very complicated and large when you put black on white what you want to do. And then it comes a bit easier because it's abstract of how to do it, and it evolves into a real application with water consumption or the management of flows of tourists. One of the things that we were talking about were both public administration. This is a very expensive thing, and it can only work if it's consistent in time. It started 10 years ago in 2018 as a nodal, a DTI, Destinazione Turistiche Intelligenti, smart tourist destination. Benidorm received a certification that meant that there was already a set of requirements that could be checked to receive the certification, and now we're with the platform that is evolving. Well, we're spending our PNRR, we call it the next generation money, in this. This is put in place by the government, and the government also gives allowances and subventions to destinations to participate in this, and it also gives subventions for a sandbox kit, toolbox, for enterprises and destinations. So my final idea would be, it is a very complicated procedure, and the procedure itself is important. We'll see the result. Paolo, I'm sorry for the
No, it's fine,
extension.
perfect. And so, Jose, main challenge now.
Yeah, main challenge for us is the population of the Smart Destination platform and also the Open Innovation platform. We are right now in the process of onboarding. Benidorm is the head of the destination we're working on. And then will come the enterprise. We're working with big enterprises with companies of the tourism sector and the transportation sector also to populate the data space. When we get the providers, there will be consumers. So I think that's a critical path.
Thank you. You? What do you say, Alexander?
I would say that the main challenge on our point of view is how all this amazing job that we do is shared, and how do we ensure that it's properly utilized by all the relevant stakeholders. I mean, if we don't have on the other side somebody that considers this useful and uses that data or knowledge that we generate, at the end of the day, we are missing a component of it.
Thank you, Alexander. And Antonio.
Well, just to finish, I think collaboration is the main key for us as a destination, for everyone. And I cannot say we are the best, but of course the methodology works, and you can see how it's been our path. And just to finish, everybody welcome to Benidorm. If you want to visit us, you are welcome.
Okay, we are perfectly on time. Thank you to Gonzalo Ceballos, to España, José Esteves, de Caceres, de Segitur. Thank you to Alexander Vilera de San Anastasio, de Mabrián, y Antonio Sánchez, de Benidorm. I think the case has been impressive, and we are still used to overnights and arrivals. I think that our matrix has to be changed radically. So it's a long way to work, and thank you so much for this presentation. Thank you for the attention.